No, you cannot westernize the Quran.
Anybody hear me?
In the other text that there is an inconsistency. There's a contradiction.
I'm agreeing with you, Syeikh. Okay, but so, Quran is perfect, the word of God. No inconsistencies, no inaccuracies, no I'm sure. Have you read it?
I've read enough.
Have you find a single mistake?
Well, what I'm saying is not a theological truth.
So Jesus didn't get resurrected.
That's a theological truth.
So are there historical falsehoods in the Bible?
Are there historical falsehoods in the Bible?
No, you cannot westernize the Quran.
Wait, who said westernize the Quran?
You can't westernize the Quran. You can't.
Wait, I'm sorry. Anybody hear me? Here, we will publish wherever we like.
No,
listen. We don't. It's public space. Right. Listen, go look up your laws. Did I say westernize the Quran? Did anybody hear that?
Crazy.
Really? Maybe you have hearing issues, bro.
I don't.
Have you got it checked? No. I'm just saying. Have you had your ears checked? But you said I said westernize the Quran. I never said that.
But why do you think you're doing this?
No. What I'm saying, please speak accurately. Now you said about the resurrection. In Matthew, now after the Sabbath.
Syeikh Usman sedang membacakan kisah kebangkitan Yesus kepada seorang pemuda Kristen yang meyakini kebenaran sejarah dalam Bible. Ada 4 versi berbeda kisah kebangkitan dalam Bible berdasarkan cerita Matius, Markus, Lukas, dan Yohanes dengan tahun penulisan yang berbeda pula. Ini adalah replika makam Yesus hari itu. Kontradiksi pertama, siapa saksi yang mendatangi makam hari itu? Matius 28 berkata Maria Magdalena dan Maria lainnya. Markus 16 menceritakan bahwa ada 3 wanita yang datang. Sementara Lukas 24 tidak menyebutkan satupun nama, hanya tertulis mereka. Dan Yohanes 20 hanya menyebut 1 wanita, Maria Magdalena. Berikutnya Syeikh Usman juga bertanya, kontradiksi jumlah malaikat dan posisi batu besar penutup gua saat para saksi itu datang. Sementara Matius 28 berkata, malaikat yang menggulingkan batu itu dan duduk di atasnya. Tapi Markus 16 tertulis, batu besar sudah terguling, lalu ada pemuda di dalam makam dengan baju berkilau. Sementara Lukas dan Yohanes yakin batu sudah terguling dengan malaikat berada di dalamnya.
Now the question I actually have is,
was it one angel or was it 2 angels?
That's not the question. The question is, you just brought that up, thank you.
Yeah,
that is a problem as well. In this verse, when they came, the stone was already gone.
Right.
In the earlier verse, they came, and the stone is there, and angels descend and sits on the stone.
Right.
And then rolls it away. So was the stone already rolled away, or was it still there when the Marys went there?
Right. Notice the text also says,
yes,
in the other text that there is an inconsistency. There's a contradiction.
I'm agreeing with you, Syeikh. Okay, but I agree with you. There's an inconsistency. Thank you.
No, thanks.
But you just said it.
Okay. The Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Okay, the nature of the Gospels is eyewitness accounts.
Okay, not the Word of God.
It is the Word of God. There is no either or there.
Okay, let me ask you then.
But historically, they are eyewitness accounts.
Let me ask.
Now, I have to continue.
Okay, please, go ahead. But then when I speak, you're going to let me speak. Okay,
go. And if I don't, interrupt me.
Thank you.
But they are eyewitness accounts. So the nature of an eyewitness account, right, when you have a homicide squad, they have a crime, the first thing that they say, right, please, I feel it's condescending. I'm trying to make a point.
I'm going with your point.
The first thing that they do is they separate.
I think this is condescending, but I'm letting you do it.
Okay. Well, if it insults you, tell me.
It's okay. Go ahead. You can insult me all you want. Keep going. Right. Homicide.
So, when there's a homicide murder, the first thing that they do is they separate the witnesses.
Okay.
Okay. Because they don't want collaboration. They don't want the story to get mixed up. They don't want this. They don't want that. Okay?
They don't want errors.
Now, when you absolutely, they want error. Okay, not necessarily error. They want contradiction. No, they don't want the witnesses to be together.
Okay, I get it.
They don't want the witnesses to be together. Now, from the beginning, when we understand the historicity of the New Testament, it's called Testament. It's called, like, it's my Testament. These are my accounts, right? Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. So historically, when we see discrepancies like this, right, when we see contradictions like this vindicates the Gospels historically as eyewitness accounts. We know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John did not come together and make a story that makes sense. They were separated just like the separation that happens when a murder has occurred.
Pria Kristen ini membela diri bahwa kontradiksi dalam Bible adalah sebuah jaminan keaslian kitab suci. Padahal dalam kasus ini, situasinya sangat berbeda sekali. Jika para saksi pembunuhan dipisah dalam ruang khusus, dalam kurun waktu yang sama, sedangkan para penulis Bible itu memiliki waktu penulisan yang jauh berbeda. Sehingga ada kesempatan penulis yang satu mengutip tulisan penulis yang lain. Bahkan seorang doktor Perjanjian Baru, Bart Ehrman, justru memberikan konfirmasi bahwa Bible telah mengalami perubahan dari masa ke masa.
The accounts are based on oral traditions that have been in circulation for decades. Year after year, Christians tried to convert others by telling them stories to convince them that Jesus was raised from the dead, and they changed their stories while trying to convince people. These authors were not eyewitnesses. They're Greek-speaking Christians living many years after the fact. They're telling stories that Christians have been telling all these years. There was nobody there taking notes.
Tetapi menariknya, pria Kristen ini menganggap kontradiksi Bible justru menambah kepercayaannya pada kisah tersebut.
Error here is assurance for me. Because if everything in the Matthew, Mark, Luke, John was correct, if everything aligned, I would expect that the disciples did something behind our back.
Really? Were they like evil people? Like they were doing
No, but
so why would they be doing something behind your back?
because if every detail aligned perfectly,
Right.
that's
Maybe
not the
it's the
nature.
word of God and God
No, I
protected
can
it.
explain.
Yeah.
If everything aligned perfectly, historically, there is room for doubt because that's
Is this a history book or the word of God?
It's both. It's both.
Can the word of God have an error?
Historically, when there are eyewitness accounts, again, you're not viewing the Gospels through the lens of eyewitness accounts.
So then it's not the word of God.
Detail, yes, it absolutely
Listen,
is.
listen.
Your contradiction that
I'm going to let you finish.
reassures me that these Gospels are genuine because they didn't collaborate behind the scenes. So there's
Okay, first thing, just because somebody gets it right doesn't mean they collaborated, right? That's just a false narrative. But the point is, if it's the words of God, then God would perfectly protect it to be as it is.
I'm not arguing a theological truth. I'm arguing here is historical truth.
Exactly. If it's
Exactly.
a book of history that is tainted with people's inaccuracies, then that's not the word of God. The word of God is perfect. The accounts of people are mistaken. If me and you agree that the accounts here do have inconsistencies, errors, because somebody said there was a rock,
Because they are eyewitness accounts.
so one of them is wrong.
No,
So was there a rock or no?
that's
Was
not.
the rock there or no?
Study how historians,
Was
medical people
the rock
look at eyewitness accounts.
there,
You can keep asking
no?
this question.
but you're not going to answer it
Right.
because you don't have an
The
answer.
main facts,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Gary Habermas calls this the minimal facts argument. When it comes to eyewitness accounts, not every single little detail has to align because we don't expect it to align.
The
That's
word of
nature
God we
an
do.
Eyewitness account.
The word of God is perfect. Everything aligns, nothing is out of shape.
Okay.
Because that is the difference between the words of men and the words of God.
Okay.
Now, my only question to you, if we're going to continue this, is one question. Was the rock there or was it already rolled away?
Historically, these are eyewitness accounts.
I didn't ask you that.
Right.
Did
And
anybody
the
hear my
minor
question?
facts- And the, yeah,
Was that my question?
and the minor facts.
Was that my question?
But the main
I'm gonna
fact is that
ask-
Jesus Christ died
I'm
for
gonna-
sins and rose from the dead.
I'm going to ask
That
you one more
was
time.
eyewitness
I'm going to
accounts.
ask you once again. This is the question here. This is my question. When Mary Magdalene or the two or the many went there, was the rock there or was it already rolled away?
One accounts as
You-
one thing, historical.
Which one was it?
The other accounts as one thing.
Which one was it?
All right.
Which one was it?
The little facts.
Which one was it? You're not answering.
No, you're asking a black and white question.
Yes, a very black and white question. Yes,
But
yes, I do.
It's simple.
Okay.
When
Now,
it comes to
now let me
history,
tell you this.
It's not that simple.
If you agree that you don't even know what happened when they went,
Because
was the rock there or not?
That's a little fact. That's not.
Do you know if the rock was there or not?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
It's a minimal
Listen,
fact.
listen, was
Because you're biased.
No,
no, listen. You're not biased, right? Okay. Very simple question.
This
Just
is not how
answer.
you look at history.
No. I agree with you.
Look at history.
I agree. That's not how you look at history. Because history, you're talking to them or me? Are you talking to them or? Okay, there you go.
It's okay.
Talk
But
to
the
me.
main facts agree that he
Okay.
rose from the dead.
Once again,
Study this.
History is tainted. History is written by the victor. History disagrees. History is filled with lies.
Say just as
Let
much
me
about-
finish. Okay, show me one.
like
Bring me a Quran. Bring me a Quran. Quran. Show me one inconsistency. Here's the Quran. Show me one inconsistency.
One inconsistency.
Show me one.
Well, the Quran doesn't say that.
Show me in the
Jesus
Quran.
rose from
No.
the dead.
Show me in the Quran an inconsistency between the Quran, not between the Bible. Show me one.
I can't.
You
pinpoint
can't?
you
There you
to
go.
Verses. Oh, excuse me.
Show me one.
I can, but I can't pinpoint you to verses.
So how can you show it to me if you can't pinpoint a verse? Show me one.
The main inconsistency in the Quran.
Okay.
Right.
Between the Quran, not Bible now, right?
Well, first you're looking at history and
I'm not
criteria.
looking at history. I'm looking at divine revelation.
No. What I'm saying is not a theological truth.
So Jesus didn't get resurrected.
That's a theological truth.
But that you
I'm
just said you're
saying-
not saying that.
My argument was a historical truth. You have
Okay.
to separate.
So
both.
are there historical falsehoods in the Bible?
Are there historical falsehoods in the Bible?
Yes.
You would
You're
have to
stuck.
show me.
I just showed it to you.
No.
I just showed it to you for the last half hour.
Okay, and I responded to that. But
Are there historical inaccuracies, falsehoods? Could it be that the stone was there and wasn't there? Or is one of them an incorrect account?
Okay, I will repeat this for the last time.
Please make it the last time.
Sure. Okay. This is
Remember, you said the last time, so go ahead.
not respectful, but I will. Okay.
How was it not respectful?
Gary Habermas goes through this in his book, and he outlines the minimal facts argument. The nature of eyewitness testimony is that not all the minimal facts have to align, just like in any court case where there are witnesses. The main thing is that the main facts align. Okay? Women at the tomb, this woman, that woman, that's a minimal fact. But what are the main facts? Every eyewitness testifies that Jesus was not in the tomb altogether. That's the nature of eyewitness testimony. It's not so black and white. There are contradictions because that's history, that's eyewitness testimony.
There are contradictions.
In any
Okay.
case, J. Warner Wallace points this out. You can look.
I'll let you finish.
Gary Habermas points this out in his book. You can point them out. So this
I don't
gentleman
care.
now showing me contradictions in the Bible reassures me, if anything, that these are eyewitness testimony accounts because that's the nature of eyewitness testimony accounts.
Are you done?
Finished.
You're not going to...
Pria ini membela Bible-nya dengan argumen fakta minimal milik Gary Habermas dalam bukunya On the Resurrection Evidence. Teori fakta minimum dalam buku ini telah diterima oleh beberapa sejarawan sebagai fakta sejarah kebangkitan Yesus. Hal ini justru merugikan pria ini karena Syeikh Usman tahu argumen itu akan menurunkan kualitas Bible dari sebuah kitab suci menjadi kitab sejarah. Hal ini terbukti ketika ia bingung untuk menjawab pertanyaan ini di awal percakapan.
So are there historical falsehoods in the Bible?
Are there historical falsehoods in the Bible?
Dan raut muka pria ini tampak sedih ketika Syeikh Usman menyelesaikan closing statementnya yang penuh kemenangan.
If you say this is the words of God, then the words of God are perfect. And historic inaccuracies, where one is wrong because the other, they cannot be the word of God. Words of human in history are filled with it. I agree with that. But that's why we don't depend 100% on them, because humans error. When a homicide detective comes out and he asks people if the stories vary, then he knows some of them are mistaken. If one says he shot him and one says he shot him, yes, the man got shot,
So you just
but
admitted that
now you're interrupting me. Now you're interrupting me,
Go
right?
ahead. Go ahead.
Now, the homicide detective will say, okay, that means one of them is wrong. One person shot. So that means if you agree that those are historic inaccuracies, that's one is wrong, one is right, then you have falsehood in the Bible. You have misread the words to understand that this is the Word of God. It cannot be then the Word of God, because the Word of God is 100% perfect, like the Quran, and you cannot show me one inconsistency in the Quran. But I can show you 100 in the Bible. So what does that mean? That means that these are the words of men. And as men err, they have those errors. They cannot both be. The rock could not have been not there and there. That means one of them is wrong.
Beautiful.
And when you see something that has falsehood and you can't even tell me which one is right and wrong, then leave that which is errored and follow that which is perfect. Thank you very much. Have a good day.